Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Anointing, and in today's video we are going to be looking at how to create a token file set. So I'm going to be walking you guys through the smart contract, and the front end is going to be a basic UI to interact with the smart contract. Alright, so before we get started, I would love to show you guys a quick demo of what we are going to be building. This is what we're going to be building. This is how it's going to look like. So I'm just going to connect my wallet like this and click on it like that, and you can see the total claim from the contract is 9,000, and I haven't claimed anything at all. So to do that, I'm just going to click on the claim button, and I'm going to wait for MetaMask to pop up. Okay, so um I'm just going to confirm like that. So I wonder how MetaMask is doing this, but so you can see successfully claim the good token, and we can view the transaction from here. So if I click this, you'll be able to view the transaction. So we are using core testnet, so that's how it's going to um, look like. We can see from the smart contract to this address, and if I check my wallet, we will notice the balance should now be sitting at 1,000. Alright, so our balance is sitting at 1,000. Alright, let's get started. So I've got a fresh um project here. So what I need to do is just to initialize Hardhat here. I mean install Hardhat, then I'm going to initialize it. So I'm just going to do that real quick. Yeah, just going to wait for it to load. Alright. Let's see. Alright, that's it. That it. So let's initialize that. Okay, sorry. Alright, we are going to be using TypeScript, and this. Alright, so let's install these guys real quick as well. See, I already installed it anyway. So we are just going to install the Nomic foundation then. So let's just get started with our files. So in here, I'm just going to change all of this to token file set. All right, and I'm going to clear this. Then let's change this to be MIT, and let's just do 9 right there. So we say contract token file set. All right. So firstly, we want to import Boozabillion library. So I have it here, so I'm just going to copy and install. I mean paste. All right. So before then, we should install this library. All right, this is still being installed. We're going to come back to that in a bit. Okay, so I'm going to see using I'm going to be using safe ERC20 for ERC20. The reason I'm doing this is because it's much more better using safe transfer from and all of that compared to IRC, because it saves you from actually checking if it gets sent. Make sure that this actually gets sent without being reversed. So that's that for that. So I'm just going to say IARC20. I'm going to create an instance of the token I want. So you can do it, you can be more flexible about it, but for the sake of this video, we are going to be passing the token we want to be sending to users in the constructor, so that when this gets deployed, it's going to be um, used immediately. So I'm just going to say constructor like that. Then it's going to take in address. We call it token address. All right, and this is going to assign token to IRC20 of the token address. So what I'm saying basically is I want this token that initialize a token variable to be an instance of the interface, ERC20 token interface. So I'm just going to install this npm install. All right. All right, moving on. We're going to create some state variables. Let's say state variables, and we want to, when you go to the normal default Faucet out there, they're going to tell you there's a cooldown period. So when you claim a token, you have to come back this is also time before you can claim another token. So we are going to be implementing something like that. See, so we're going to say int 256 public. Let's call it cooldown time. So this is going to be 5 minutes. All right. So say int 256 public amount per claim. All right. So I'm going to be doing 1000. So we are going to be sending 1000 to user, but I can't just say 1000 here because I need to make it a representation or a fraction of the decimal the token we are sending out as. So the token I deployed is a very basic token and is using 18 decimals. So in order for me to actually get the quantity to accurate quantity, so I need to pass in the decimal. So I'm going to say times 10 raised to 18, right? You can do it in different way. You can just say times 1 e18. That works too. Okay, so I'm going to do int 56 public, sorry, total claim, because we want to track the total tokens that have been claimed. All right, so I think we should also create a mapping, and this mapping we want to track the last time a user claimed, so that we make sure you don't claim every time. So we map it to unit 256 here, which is representing the time, which is like the block timestamp the of the user. So we see last claimed, and we also want to check if a user have actually claimed before. We are going to say mapping. It's going to be an address, and it's going to be mapped to a boolean. All right. So public base, and say as claim. So we are checking if the user has claim before we do something with them. All right, I think we are good for now. So let's proceed with the function. We say claim token. We are not going to take in anything. We're just going to proceed. Make this external, and we say we check first. We check if the current block timestamp of the user minus the last claimed of the user, if it's actually less than the cooldown time, it shows that this person have actually claimed before, so you need to wait 5 minutes before you can claim again. So we're going to say block dot timestamp minus last claim, um, last claimed of user. Uh, if that is less than cooldown time, all right, sorry, cooldown time, you want to try row revert. I hope this is correct. Okay, we want to revert and say wait, so wait for cool time. All right, so we are going to define this custom error. We're going to say error and error this, and just like that. All right, moving on, we want to check the contract balance. We want to make sure that okay, the balance of our contract has enough to be sent out. So we are going to say unit 256 contract balance is going to be equal to token dot balance of. So I'm getting this from the ERC20 interface we are using here. So the balance of this address this. All right. Um, so we are going to say if the contract balance is actually equal to 0, we want to revert and say insufficient balance, like that. You can see insufficient contract balance, but insufficient balance. All right. So um, after we've confirmed that, we then can um, update the state, because it makes sense when you're updating the state before you do any external interaction. All right, so then I'm going to say the last claim of this particular user, so it's going to be equal to block dot timestamp. So you are making the last claim to be the current timestamp, which is the current time. So we should also okay, I think we should also track the total amount a user have actually claimed from the Faucet. So to do that, we say address in 256 public, and we're just going to make this user claim amount. All right. So we are going to update this mapping of the person sending this, going to be plus or equal to the amount per claim. All right, I hope that makes sense. So moving on, we should also update the total claimed. All right, so it's going to be amount per claim as well. All right, so we also want to track all the users that have actually used our Faucet. So in order for us to do that, we're going to create an address array. And the way we do that is quite simple. Just say uh, address all users like that. All right, so then before that, we can't just be adding them. So we need to make sure if this person have actually claimed, we should not add the person to the array. So we want to make it unique. That is where this as claim comes from. So I'm going to say if this person um, has not claimed, all right. If the person has not claimed at all, then we can push this person to the array. All right, I hope that makes sense. Then we can update the as claimed of the user in here as claim as claim of the user is going to be equal to true. All right. So after we've done all these checks and update our state variables, we then can transfer the token to the sender. So since we already initialized the token there, let's call it safe transfer. If I get that correctly. Safe transfer to the person. So this safe transfer here is it takes two parameters. It takes who you are sending it to and the amount you are sending. So if you check this library, you're going to see the oh so amounts per claim. All right. So then we should create an event. We are going to do that is you say event we say event token claimed. Then we should index the user, and we can leave this unindexed. Right. So then we are just going to emit the token claimed event, and the user is going to be msg.sender, and the amount is going to be amounts claimed. All right, that is that for the function. So what we are going to be working on next, we're just going to be creating a getter function, all right, to get the state variables to be displayed in the front end. All right. So firstly, let's create a function to get all users. All right. So external view returns. It's going to return an address array because that's what we're using, and we're going to make it memory. So we then are going to return all users. So function, let's say get the total claimed. This is also going to be external view. This is just going to return a int, like a number. So 256 like that. Come on. And we're just going to return the total claimed. That makes sense. So we should also write a function to return what the user has claimed. Get user get user claimed amount. Uh, I think we should pass in the user address in this place. So let's say user. This is going to returns linked as well. All right. So oh sorry, external view. All right. So we are just going to return the user. Let me just go here. User claim amount of this user. All right. And we are done with the contract. So what we're going to be doing next now is deploying the contract. So let's check out other config here, and we we are going to be creating a networks like that. Then we are going to define the network name. So since we are going to be deploying this um, on core DAO chain, so we are going to be using the testnet. So we say core testnet like that, and we are going to define the URL, which is the RPC URL we are going to be using. So we say https rpc test bt cs network. All right, and we need to define the chain ID as well. The chain ID being used here is 1115, and that's for core testnet um, chain ID. All right, so you get the account, which is the private key. So I'm just going to define something here. So const private key. Let's just make that for now. All right, so and I'm going to check if we have private key. So if we have private key, use the private key. It takes in an array, all right? Private key as we use an empty array. So that works. All right. So I'm going to adjust the deploy script here. All right. So I'm going to take this guy out. Nope. Let's take this guy out. All right. So let's call this token Faucet. We grab the contract name. We call it here token Faucet, and we just say token address. As is going to be also going to be a string, and we are not passing in any value. All right, so we're just going to pass in the token address here, and we are going to wait for the deployment, of course. Then I'm just going to clear all of this. All right, and I'm going to say token file set successfully deployed. All right, and I'm just going to grab the token file set dot target. Right, so that should work. Sorry. All right, that should work. So I'm going to grab the token ERC20 token deployed. I'm just going to paste that here, and I have to pause the video and just add the private key here, so that'll be good to go. All right, so I've added the private key, and we are just going to deploy this. Let's do that. All right, so let's clear this guy out, and we're just going to see npx Hardhat run script and deploy .cs network core testnet. All right, so that is going to deploy our smart contract to um, to core testnet blockchain. Let's see. Come on. All right. So our token gets deployed successfully, and this is our contract address. So in the next video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to connect this to the front end. I've got a fresh Next.js project here, so it's just basic, as you can see. You see it here, very basic. So you're going to be starting from scratch. So I'm just going to take all of this out, all right, and I'm just going to return div basic div right there. All right, so yeah, so I'm just going to create a component folder. Come on. So I'm going to call it component, component like that, and in here I'm going to create faucet token faucet component. All right, so I'm just going to do a quick dot react common dot react, oh good, from react like that. Alright, so export custom token faucet faucet let's go with this like that, and this guy is just going to return music diff. Okay, hi there. So in here we're just going to import the token faucet like that. So let's take this guy out. We check this you see our eye right there. So let's start by styling this up, creating the interface itself. All right, so since I'm going to be using a lot of um, um, react states, makes sense if I have to put this use clients right there. And yeah, let's start with this, and um, instead let's make this like this. All right, let's give it class name. This is going to be flex, then item is going to be in the center. We're going to be using a an height of vh. All right, so everything is going to be center. We just tell everything to be center. Then width is going to be full. Then we want the margin um, left and right to be auto. We're just going to give it a little space. All right, so when you're going to see how it's going to look in a bit, so just to make this video as short as it's going to be. All right, so let's stop at that. All right, so moving on, let's start with the main content. So I'm going to call this div. Let's make this class name. So margin top is going to be 10 p. I think we should not even use margin top, but let's use margin top. All right, padding is going to be 8, width is going to be full as well. Max width is going to be of medium. All right, so background will be white, rounded should be, let's not use full, let's just use Excel. All right, that's the border radius for the interface, and let's give it a little bit of shadow beneath, so shadow will be of that, and text is going to be of gray and red. Let's use the font of Sans. Alright, font family sans serif right there. Alright, so let's create our basic h1 tag. Let's call this token file set, and in here we can create class name. Make this test 3xl like that. Font is going to be bold. Um, that's going to be the font to it. Alright, so the text will be in the center, and the text color is going to be 600. Alright, so I'm using Tailwind, as you can see. So I assume everybody knows how to use Tailwind. Alright, so moving on, let's create the token claim and all of that. So I'm just going to create another div. Alright, so the class name, yeah, flex. So justify between, margin below is going to be 6. Margin bottom, font is going to be semi bold, right? And our text is going to be large like that. So in here, you can just see how this is going to look in a bit. Let's create another div for this class name. So we're going to be using gray text 500, and the font size is going to be small, and okay, let's call this instead. I think we use p tag for this guy. Let's call this total claimed in gold. Alright, so let's leave it at that. Okay, let's create a div for this bad guy. My bad. Alright, so let's create a p tag for this guy as well. And let's just say total claim. We're just going to add code all of this for now. It's going to be 0. Alright. Let's put total claim to be total claim here. Alright. I don't want to be using use state for now. And so we're just going to do the same thing for this guy. We're just going to change this to be your claim gold as well. Let's use total claim there as well, and let's see how this looks. Alright, so this is how it looks here. I think before we proceed, let's just change the background. So I'm going to take the background image right now. Alright, so this guy, let's create a public folder. Let's push this guy in here. Alright. So you're going to give it a background. Pass this URL like that, and I call it bgf, right? .png, and then close the tag, just like that. So make it cover the background size to be cover. Make sure it doesn't repeat itself. Now repeat like that, and it's going to be in the center. So let's see how it looks. All right, it says can't resolve pg.f. Let's refresh. Um, oh, sorry. Uh, let's put the stroke like that. Come on. Okay. Um, where can the error be come from? Here. Okay, so this is okay now, and we see the background here. All right, moving on. Um, I'm just going to close this tag right there. I'm going to create another div. All right. So let's give this a class name because we want it to be a little bit above that, and we just want to display the button. Let's say button right there. I'll click of connect wallets. Let's just say connect. We are just going to create a function, domain function here. Alright. Alright. So disabled. It's going to be false, wherever. We are going to update all of this. So um, let's just style it. Let's style it. So with full pad on top, 3 text is going to be white, font is going to be bold. Let's make it a little. Let's add border radius and a little bit of shadow. Transition is going to be colors. Duration is going to be just a little animation there. All right, so I'm just going to stop at this and just say connect wallet. I'm still going to change all of this, but let's just set the interface like now. Okay, let's give it a background. Background color, of blue, 600. All right. Okay. So moving on, let's create another button and say um, this one is also going to be on click. All right. Let's pass in the connect as well. Disable is going to be false. Class name. It's just going to maintain the same class name as we have here. All right. Okay. So here I'm just going to say um, claim 1000 gold token, 1000 gold like that, and that is it. So moving on, we also want to create, but then let's just leave it at that. And these are basic interface. I'm thinking we should also create the table for displaying all users and their claimed amount. So that's what I'm going to be doing here. So I'm going to say div class name, margin top. It's going to be 10 just to make sure it's a little bit lower. Alright, so h2. I'm just going to copy whatever is here and um, that, and call this all the users, and in here, yeah, I'm just going to create a dummy array of users. How do we do that? So all users is equals to an array. Like that, just an empty array is fine. So I'm just going to say if we actually have all users, all right. So and all users dot the length is actually greater than 0, then we that is true. I want to return all of this, so there's a problem right there. All right, let's give it any um okay, I need to run into a problem. um we shouldn't. What's the problem? Oh, all right, so that is true. Okay, I get there. Then yes, we want to return nothing. Come on. All right, so all right, cool. So I'm just going to create a class name of, I make the overflow of the horizontal of overflow to be auto. So it's going to adjust itself and then create a table. Have a class name. Minimum width is going to be full and text is going to be at the left. Border, then we make the border color to be gray. Right, so I'm just going to give it a border radius of that as well. All right, moving on, I'm going to create the head for the table, and then table row. Come on, give me a class name of that. Background of gray 100, and then um, the th I'm going to have the class name um, padding top is going to be 2, padding left I think it's going to be 4, then border is going to be b. All right, I mean the border bottom with. All right, so that way the address, we call this address. I mean, I'm just going to copy whatever I have here and bring it here, and I'm going to see claimed good amount, claim good. All right, so that's that for that. We can take that out. So we are going to do the body. All right, see body. All right, so then we are going to map the all users we have here. Yeah. So dot map, and we're going to pass in user, and I'm just going to say user, comma the ID or key or wherever. Um, okay, what am I having? Okay, but its value is never zero. Okay, wherever. Um, okay, so this is going to be fixed in a bit. Let's, instead of creating an ID, because we are not going to really be passing the ID from the all users we created, it's just going to be displaying the addresses. Let's just make the key to be the user. I think that's going to be much more better. So I'll give that a class name, and let's just say whenever we over on this guy, the background color should change to gray. All right. Yes, I know this is not making sense right now, but it's going to make sense in a bit. Let's see. All right, it's saying, okay, let's just make sure it can be, I think it should be a string, because user is going to be a string. Let's just not passing it in. All right, so in here, I'm just going to do cd class name, um, class name, let's give it a padding top of 2, padding left of 4, the border bottom width, and text is going to be white, and font is going to be mono. This is going to be text of SX, like that. And oh, sorry, I meant to write TD. Alright. So in here, I'm just going to say if I actually have user, then I want to format the user. I can actually create a util function to format this in a real world project, but then let's just do that for here. Say z.slice. I want to start from 0 to 8, then I can do dot 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 dot, and come here and see z.slice. All right, then -6. All right. Um, all right. If we have user, do that. Else we want to return unknown or not available, whatever. So moving on, we want to create um let's create another td. Hope I'm getting that right this time. So we have class name and padding top of 2, then padding left of 4, then border bottom width, and this will be that text of white. And just to see whatever we're doing, I'm just going to return 200 here. I'm just going to add code this. Let's just see what we have. All right, this is not making any sense. Okay, let's fill in this. Let's just do user um okay. All right, so let's see is do something there. Okay, makes sense. All right, so this is how it's going to look like. So that is our template. So moving on, I'm just going to um create the the functionality. So let's proceed. So with that being said, I'm just going to create a util function. Come on, util function. Me a util folder here. In here, I'm just going to say web3.ts like that. All right. So firstly, we need to install ETAs. So have that here. Install ETAs. Right. So I'm just going to import ETAs from ETAs like that. And before we continue, we should create a constant folder, right? So this is going to hold all our BI's addresses and all of that. So I'm going to create ABI, that's the folder. I'm going to create address. I'm just going to create like address.ts like that. So inside this ABI, we're going to have token faucet. Faucet. This is to be a JSON file. So what we are going to do is just that we are going to grab the ABI. So we will go to artifact here, and um, we go to artifact here, token file sets. We can see the ABI here. We just grab that, take this out, close that, and I'm just going to paste it here. All right. So remember we have the contract address deployed. So you're going to add that here too. So do export constant token file set address going to be equal to that guy. So I need to grab the token address real quick. The file set contract address. So I'm going to be updating this real quick. So moving on, let's just import um, token file set contract address, and import um, token file set ABI from let's make this from slash constant slash ABI and slash this guy. Alright, so we're going to be writing our util functions by exporting them, of course. We're going to start with the connect wallet. Let's make this like this, connect wallet. And sorry. Alright, so what do you have here? Okay. So we're going to be doing a try and cache. So try and cache like that. We can list through the error. Error and error code by connecting to wallets. And sorry, I'm just going to do what's the cost, and it's going to be error. So just like that, we check if there's this window dot Ethereum. So what we're saying is the user's browser, does it have any Ethereum wallet or whatever, or wallet extension installed. So if we don't have that, we want to throw an error and say please install MetaMask to have full access to the to the dApp like that. So before we continue, we we want to create, because we're having issues due to TypeScript error. So it's much more better if we create a global a global file. So I'm just going to call this global um, global dot d dot ts, just uh, to make this work. So we say export declare global like that, and I want to create an interface window. Then we're going to make sure if you have Ethereum, and Ethereum, which I mean optional, and that is going to be any, so that should take away the error for us. So moving on, I we are going to proceed with actually connecting the user. All right, so we try to get the account, I mean request for the account. So we say account equals await. Let's make this an asynchronous function. So I'm coming await window dot ethereum that we have there, the request. So we're going to request for the user account, and the method we are going to be using is going to be its requests accounts. All right, well, that makes sense. And let's make this an asynchronous function. All right. So moving on, we are just going to say const first, say first users is going to be equal to the first array, the first index in the array of accounts that we have there. All right, then we are just going to return the first user. This should be users, user. So we're just going to return the first user. So that's it for our connect wallet function. So we're going to move on by say export const we should write a function to check the chain ID. So we'll be able to tell the user that hey the I mean the the network you are connected to, I mean the blockchain network you are connected to is not correct. So we advise them to switch. So chain ID equals await window dot ethereum. It's just the same thing. We're just going to be requesting for the user's chain ID. So the method we're going to be using for this is going to be, I mean, it's chain ID. All right. So we're going to be doing a quick check. So if the chain ID, so let's create the chain constant call this. I think we did testnet chain ID. Seem to be a number. Let's put that to 5. All right. So save the chain ID equals to this. Then we console the log. You are connected to the right chain. All right. So we then are going to return true. So else we want to throw new error and say please connect to the correct chain. All right, so that's it for our function. So moving on, we are going to create another function. So let's export that guy to export const get token faucet contracts. So what we are going to be doing in this function basically is just to fetch the contract, the everything about the contract. That's what we want to be doing. So we are going to be passing in. So in here, I think we should make this an function too. So we are going to be passing in a signer or a provider. All right. So say signer or provider, and we are going to be getting that from etas dot signer or etas dot provider um yes, and we are just going to promise. So the promise here is just going to return etas dot contract. That is all we need from here. At the same time, it can be undefined or unknown. All right, so now to avoid the error, let's just write something here. All right, so try and catch for error, throw new error, failed. Let's say failed to fetch contract. And in here, we are just going to say we are going to get the contract const contract equals new etas dot contract, and this is going to take few things. It's going to take in the token contract address, it's going to take the token ABI, and it's going to take the files the signer or provider that we have there, and I'm just going to return contract like that. Okay, that makes sense. So while we are in this error, okay, that's from the import I'm using. Should just be this. That should work. And let's create another function to check if a user is actually connected. So I'm just going to do this real quick. Check if connected. So the sorry, should be MetaMask. So the method you're going to be using is going to be its accounts. So instead of the user logging in connected to wallet every time they come on board, so this is just going to fetch their their wallet address automatically. All right, so yeah, that's that for that. All right, so moving on, we should create a hook that is going to handle our interaction. So in here, I'm going to say use connect wallet .js, and I'm just going to export const use connect wallet like that. All right, so okay, so in here I'm just going to create a function and say connect wallet. So const connect wallet going to be an async function, of course. So try and catch, and I'm just going to import. I'm going to import the connect wallet we have in the YouTube folder. So say account equals connect wallet. Come on, let's just import it then. Say import connect wallet from this, and I'm just going to wait for this guy. All right, so let's create a use state. So do const id key, which is going to be the user wallet address. Set id key, which is use state. So this is going to be a string. All right. At the same time, it can be null. So if you don't have anything. All right. So let me just import this real quick. And we also want to check for loading. If we actually have loading states. Loading, set loading. So few states, and then this is just going to be a boolean. By default, it's going to be false. And let's create a chain error. Chain error, set chain error. So it states, this is going to be a boolean as well, because we set it to return true in there. And by default, it's going to be false. And yes, let's just work on that. Okay, so we want to make sure that we actually have the accounts. So if we don't have the accounts, what is going on? Okay, so if we don't have accounts, we want to throw a new error. Say no account found. Come on. Okay, say this. An expression of type void, account void. Okay. Let's go back to our function, connect wallet. This shouldn't be void. Okay, so let me use this guy. So let's set id key to be account. All right. Come on. All right. So just console the dot error to see what we have. Error y connecting. Error. Why are you saying it's void? Okay. Uh, all right. So, all right. So, but then it's going to be a string. Okay, let's just make this n for now. So that's going to save us the stress. All right. So moving on. Um, let's create another function to, I think, or better still, let's just return whatever we have in here. We're going to return id key. We are going to return, um, okay, we set the loading because I didn't even do that earlier. So loading is going to be true. All right. So then finally, finally, loading, set loading to be false. All right. So in here, just going to create another state. Let's say error, set error, which is going to be e state, as is going to be a string or null, and it's going to be anything like that. So we're going to set error to be here. We say error is being an instance of error. If that is true, we return error dot message. All right. Or we say that is not true. We say error occurred. I mean, occurred by connecting to the wallet. All right. So we are going to return the error. We are going to return chain error, and we are going to return whatever what is and loading. All right. Come on. So yeah. All right. So I think we should write a function for this correct chain. So I'm just going to say const correct chain going to be an async function common, and try and catch as well. Just going to set error to be this. We're not going to be doing too much with this guy to be error. Can be any or none or whatever. This is any. So say we get a chain, say wait, check chain ID like that. and we call the function, and you see if we do have the chain, we set chain error to be true. This should be true. All right, let's set this guy to be false. All right, better still, can we take this out and just log out the error. Yes, let's see like that. Oh, God. All right, so for this correct chain, we want to create a use effect for it so that on every mount is going to check for that. So I'm just going to do this way, and I'm just going to pass in the correct chain like that. All right, that makes sense. So then I'm going to go to the token file set here, and I'm going to say const this equals is connect wallet hook that we created, and I'm just going to say, okay, I think even the connect wallet needs to be passed because I didn't pass that earlier. So going to go for connect wallet like that, and in here within the button we have here, I'm going to replace this with this. Come on, I'm just going to take this guy out. All right, what is the error? So since we have ID key being the wallet address itself that we have from here, so I think we should update our UI to undo that. I'm getting there from, okay. Um, oh, sorry, it should be this, not that, but then all good. So instead, um, in the UI here, so we need to check if we actually have wallet address. We should proceed. Um, uh, okay, let me just abstract this and abstract this and bring this down. And yes, within this, I'm just going to copy this. Um, and if we have ID key, I mean, let's come here and say ID key cleaner, chain error, I mean, loading, let's say connecting. All right, so we have ID key. That's true. The key dot the length is actually greater than 0. That is true. We want to return this. Yes, we want to return um, the button. Um, yeah, we want to return the button. Um, mm, let's see. What am I getting wrong? Wow. All right, so that makes sense. Sorry. All right, moving on. I'm just going to create a p tag here, give a class name of text is going to be yellow 600, right? So font is going to be semi bold, text is going to be semi bold, text is going to be in the center, then margin bottom is going to be 3. I'm just going to close that and I'm going to slice this guy. Alright, so id key dot slice, start from 0, stop at 8, and let's do dot 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 id key dot slice, let's do -7. Alright, so this our connect button, it's time to update it. So what I'm going to do for the styling to continue, I'm going to do this way. All right. Um, so let's take this guy out, take this guy out, and create a check. So the loading here, I'm just going to say connecting as I've done here. So if you are connecting, that is not that. If you are connecting, or we have a chain of common, or we have a chain error, or we have a chain error, if that's true, we want to change the background to be blue. It's going to be a little bit faint. Okay, it's going to be a little bit faint. Then make sure that cursor is not allowed. Cursor not allowed. Not allowed. And else we want to go back to our original blue 600. Then when we over at it, EG blue is going to be 700, just a little bit thicker. Then our cursor is going to be pointer like that. Alright, that should make sense. And we're also going to change the text here. So if we have connecting, if that is true, we want to return connecting dot 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 dot. And this is make this 3. Come on. So we're going to say connect wallets. Alright, that should make sense. Alright, so we click on connect wallet. Let's refresh. Just to check, let me be sure we're actually using connect wallet function here. Okay. Alright, connect wallet. Let's see. Let's check what's going on. Alright. Okay, says no account found. Why does it seem it has been connected before? Let's refresh this guy. Alright. I feel this is an infinite problem. Okay, yeah, so I realize the problem we're facing is the using the same name with the actual function. So I was using connect wallet, the same thing as this, so it's calling itself recursively. So that was the problem. So that has been fixed. So if you click on connect wallets now, you're going to see this coming up, and that is our wallet like that. All right, let's check for, okay, let's go back to our um our token file set, and we're just going to create the error. Let's just write the error down. So in here, um, I'm just going to say if you actually have the error, I'm thinking we say chain error like that. All right, so say chain error like that. I think we need this to be true. Yeah, chain error. Okay, yes, it's a boolean. So we have chain error. Um, I'm just going to create a div for this guy. All right, so let me just give it a class name. Top should be 4. Padding is going to be 3. Background is going to be red. Red. I mean, sorry. Yeah, this is just red 100. Text is going to be red. So 100. And there to be medium. Font should be semi bold. And text is going to be in the center. And I'm just going to say you are connected to the wrong chain. Please switch. Alright, so let's test this by refreshing and change it to another chain. Let's see if that's going to pop up and if this is going to freeze. So say change to this. Alright, let's refresh. Okay, that's it not coming up. Alright, so let's go back to our correct chain here and see if we are missing anything. If not chain. I mean, this day was uh, I was doing this, so if we are not able to return it, so I'm just going to take this out. So that is going to work. And so if you connect wallets and try to change to a new, say, linear, so if you refresh, so that is going to show. So they're connected to the wrong uh, chain. So say we switch to Ethereum, we refresh, it's still going to be the same. Okay, so now I'm just going to proceed with what we are doing called chain testnet, and that should stop. Moving on, let's update our UI. Um, let's update it so that the buttons are going to be disabled if it's connecting. I mean, sorry, if we don't have a Yes, I mean, if it's disabled, I mean, if it's connecting or if we have a chain error, so that is going to make sure that works. Moving on, we should create the function for claiming token. So before we do that, let's just create another hook and call it use claim token. All right, let's claim token. That's the so sports cost is claim token. All right, so in here, I'm just going to say cost requests token is going to be equal to an assign function. Um, so just like we did in here, I'm just going to grab this loading state. I'm going to import this real quick. So request token, try and catch as well. So we are going to get the provider. I mean, cost provider equals new eaters dot browser. That's because I'm using the updated eaters library. So passing the window dot zero like that. So from there you get the signer. So the person connected goes with provider dot get signer and like that. I mean, sorry. So I need to import eaters like this, and then I'm going to say contract is going to be equal to with get token offset contract, and I'm just going to pass in the signer and see if we don't have contracts, we are just going to throw error error contract instance not found. Alright, so moving on, I'm going to create a transaction equals with contract dot claim token. Alright, so I'm going to create a use state. So say hash, comma set hash. So I'm just going to set the transaction hash here. So this is going to be a string. Alright, so so I'm just going to set hash to be ts.hash. Alright, so as usual, we set error. I'm just going to grab this real quick. I think we just write it again. Plus error set error. I mean, each state is going to be a string as well, or it can be null. Going to be null by default. So we set the error to be the error. Same thing, error. In an instance of error. Okay, what am I doing? Okay, let's just continue. So if that is true, we get error dot message. Else we say okay to claim token. All right. So I want to true or just console log the error in case error by claiming token. All right. So to true the error, then finally I want to set loading to be false. All right. So I didn't even set loading here. So set loading to be true. So just like that, I'm going to return the loading, and I'm going to return hash. I'm going to return error. I'm going to return request token function like that. All right. So we're going to go back to the token faucet here, and we're just going to import whatever we export there. So const this because it's plain token like that. I'm going to call request token and then hash and error as in claim error, and what else do we have, and loading claim status. Okay, so I'm just going to grab this and pass it here, and we are going to disable this. We are going to disable this button if we have, if for the claim status or um, or if we don't have an ID key like that. So just how we did it, I'm going to be changing it here as well. I'm just going to grab this class name and I'm going to replace this with this, and in this case it's going to be claim status and then chain error. I mean, sorry, ID key. All right. Mm, So, so what you're saying is, if the claim status um, is true, I mean, which is loading, which is true, we are going to be applying this class name. If any of this is true, I mean, so else we are going to be using this. So what we're going to be doing is connect it to our wallet, and sorry, it should be if we do not have an ID key, right? So let's check our um, console here, um, screen token. Let's see what we're going to have. All right, it says target name. That should be our contract address. Remember, our contract address here is empty, so I'm just going to add the address here and we continue. So I've added the contract address here, and I'm just going to click on the claim gold again, and now we can see that we can claim the token. All right, so I'm going to say continue, and You can see the claim token went through, but we didn't return anything like that. So let's go to use claim token and just say console.log token claimed successfully. All right, and just do ts.hash. So in our front end here, we are going to be creating a way to see that. We're just going to say if we have hash that is true, we want to return this. This is going to return this, and we're just going to have a class name. All right, so parameter 4, p of 3. I think I'm just going to copy whatever I have here. Change this. Still the same thing. Anyways, so I'm just going to be changing this to be green and this to be green. All right. In the text, I'm going to say successfully claimed 1000 gold token and transaction hash. Then I'm going to use link tag from next link. I'm going to pass the href. I'm going to say https scan test btcs network ts and the hash. All right, so that's that. I'm going to pass the target to be blank blank like that. Okay, we'll just close this for now. Oh, sorry, we're going to take this out. So we're going to pass target here. Let's close this guy and give it a class name. I mean class name here. Class name of underline text is going to be green 800. So I'm just going to say view transaction. All right, so we remember when we writing the smart contract, we say we can only claim every 5 minutes. So already claimed because I have a transaction. So view this. Um, so you can see 1000 tokens sent to from the smart contract to this person. All right, so I'm just going to refresh. When we try to call this function again to claim a token, we should receive an error because we can only claim every 5 minutes. So we connect our wallet, we claim this, that should throw error. If you check this selector, we see 4 bytes. I mean, cast 4 bytes. That guy. So, okay, sorry. Looking for the selector. Okay, sorry, this is it. Looking for the selector. Alright. This is no matching. One sec. I'm sure the error is from 0 is from whatever. Okay, sure. I think that was MetaMask 0. So, should, okay, it worked. Has it been over 5 minutes? Well, if I try and claim again, that shouldn't work. So I can view the transaction again. Um, so connect with it and claim. Okay, it says error. All right. Come on. That's a function selector. Um, we can as well decode the error message just to make sure this is working. So if we check our MetaMask, we'll be able to see we're actually receiving this. So what I think we can do is we can change this account to this account. This is a fresh account. Of course, this is holding a lot of it, but notice this is going to increase by 1,000, so it should be 999 4,000. Okay. All right, let's refresh. Uh, so claim good token. All right, then this address has claimed the token successfully. We can view the transaction. We check here. This should be 4,000. So it has increased by 4,000. So if this person comes again, we should try an error because you need to wait 5 minutes. We are going to look for a way to display this properly. I wonder why I'm not getting that. So we are going to fix that in a bit. Alright, so this is showing our function is working properly now. Connect wallet claim. It's a problem. Alright, that's it. So let's work on our getter functions. So what I'm going to do is just going to create another hook and say use fetch data. Use fetch data dot cs like that. And email, I'm going to export constant is fetch data. All right, so we are going to be writing a use state and say all users, set all users, because use state of is going to be string array, even correct? Yes. By default it's going to be an empty array. Okay, so we want to get the total claim. Total claimed, comma set, set total claimed. All right. So this is going to be equal to the state. Um, let's make this a string as well. By default, this is just going to be a 0. So we want to get the user claim amount as well. User claim amount. Set user claim amount. So the state is in this string, and by default it needs to be 0. So all right, so let's create a function for getting or all user into the async function. Alright, so try and catch as usual. Then we get a provider, just like we did the other time. There's going to be new, sorry, new features dot browser provider of window dot Ethereum. Let's just do it like that. Import it as okay, and we get this okay. Let's just get all the user before we proceed. So let's get a contract equals await we need to get a signer because await provider dot get signer like that. So then we get the contract, then we wait for get token Faucet contract and pass the signer. All right, so we can get all users equals await contract dot get all users. All right, okay, I need to make sure we actually have contracts. So if we don't have contracts, we want to also dot error contract not found. So what do we have here? It says okay. Same shift. That's true. Yeah, instead. Alright, that solves the problem for us. Alright, so we are just going to set all users to be all users that we defined there. Then we are then going to true error and error occurred fetching all users. Alright, because error. Alright, so then we return whatever we have here. We return, sorry, let's just return all users. So let's just return all users, and let's create the function for getting all the total claim. So I'm just going to copy and paste this. Get total claimed, same thing. Then I'm just going to be calling get total claimed. So we are going to be formatting this. Say total claim, total token claimed. Say equals format this. All right, going to be equal to etas dot format unit. Then we pass total token claimed, comma 18. So this might give us a problem. So we need to convert this to a string. So let's just say string like that, and set total claimed is going to be formatted total claimed. All right, so we return total claimed, and moving on, while fetching total claimed. So moving on, I'm going to create a function to get user claimed amount. Get user claimed amount should be claimed, by the way. So it's going to be the same thing. I'm just going to change this to get user claimed amount. How does I wrote it? So if we go back to our contract here, we're going to say we have this get user claimed amount and it's passing in, it's taking in an address. So we need to do the same thing here. So we're saying get user claim amount, then the signer, we need to get the address. So const address equals signer dot get address, like that. So we need to await for this. Let me wait for it. So I'm just going to pass in the address, get user claim amount of that address is the user or signer. So total, let's just call this total user claimed amount. Total user claimed amount formatted sorry I mean formatted total user claimed amount. All right, so I'm just going to return user claim amount. So we need to put it in use effects. So real quick, because we want to be fetching it, use effects. So we have a sync function fetch, let's call it fetch data, just going to await get our user await get total claimed. So await get user claimed amount. So then we go back to our faucet here. We're just going to say, just like we've done before, const this equals use fetch data. I mean use fetch data. Can't remember what you have here. I'm just going to copy everything here and paste here. All right. So total claimed. I'm going to say total claimed. That's user claimed is going to be this. So if we try and refresh, let's try and refresh. Let's connect. Alright, so this is not returning what we want. Let's check. Oh, sorry, we did not use this, did not call it. So we check now. We try and refresh. Okay. Alright, connect. Alright, this is okay. There's a problem there. Let's make sure this really works once. So, so let's refresh. Let's connect. And let's refresh again. Alright. Okay. Let's fix this. We're still going to fix the inconsistencies, but this is not okay. That's a problem. Set user claimed amount. Let's refresh. Okay, that was a problem. We're using it twice. Alright, so that should be fixed by now. So we connect, and this total claim is actually correct because I've tested the contract earlier by claiming more token before. So, and this particular address is correct. So what I think we should do is just test it with a new account. So I'm just going to create a new address, a new account. Come on. I'm going to create a new account here. Ethereum account 4. Then I'm just going to send a little ETH token to account 4 that we just created. I'm going to call it, just send it 0.2, and come on. Okay, I'm just going to try this again. Alright, so confirm, and that will be sent. So what I think we should do is should grab the address here, alright, and add the token inside for account 4. I mean import the token. So I'm just going to import this token. Select network chain testnets. So I'm just going to give it GLD, calling next, and you can see we're having 0 GLD there. So if we refresh, and we connect wallets, alright. So say we want to claim God token now. So MetaMask pops up, and we click connect, and it says we successfully connect. We can view it from the scan here. So we just check our wallets, and oh good, this is not the connected account. So let's connect to this account again, refresh. So I hope the account is now connected now. So the account is OSD29. Alright, connect OSD29. Alright, you can see the total claim has increased. My claim here is 0. So we're saying I don't have any token or any claim at all. So I click on claim. I'm just going to connect this. You can view the transaction said, and uh, you can see 1016. And you check, if you check the all user here, you can see the all the addresses have been displayed. So you just need to write a function to check, to make sure each address uniquely returns each token is being claimed, and that is what we're going to do next. So moving on, I'm just going to create the token. Go back to the fetch here, and I'm just going to continue. Firstly, let's just create the use state for holding the user. I call it user. So user, this one is going to be claimed amount. Set user claimed amount. So it's going to be equal to use state. So it's going to be an object. All right. It's going to be an object. This makes sense. So within the object, we are going to have an array, and within the array, we're going to have address, and the address is going to be of string. Um, I mean, um, hmm, okay, let's make this a default. Um, I mean, let's make a default object like that. So, and this address is going to be a string, and everything is going to be a string. I mean, the whole array is going to be a string. I hope this makes sense. We are creating an object. This is how it's going to look like. We have an object, we have address, which is a string, and this everything here. Oh, sorry. I mean, we have an array inside, and for example, we have address, and it's going to be mapped to a string 0x blah 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 blah. So this is how it's going to look like. All right. So we are going to do some manipulations here. So I'm just going to say constant claim amount array, and do it like that. Then I'm going to say wait promise or so I'm making sure that all of this gets fulfilled. So say all the users that we've defined, we're going to map it. This is okay. Let's make this to be unique. Just avoid naming conflicts. So all users, we map all users, and we are going to do an asynchronous call, and we are going to pass in string, an address inside, and we are going to write a function. So this is already a function. So we're going to get the claim token for each of them. Sorry, get the claim token of the addresses. So contract get let's go to the token file sets, and yes, this is get user claimed amount. All right, get user claimed amount of the address. So what we are doing here is we are just fetching we are fetching the the claimed amount of each addresses. All right, so you're fetching the claim amount of each address from the array of addresses that have been here. I hope that makes sense. So I'm just going to return the address, which is the identifier, plus the amount. So we are just going to format this, format int. We are going to pass in a string, and we're going to make this clean and passing it in. All right, hope that makes sense. Moving on, we are going to save this within our, push it to the state we did. So how we're going to do that is we're going to create the object. So we say cleaned amount obj. All right, so we're going to just create the object, an array address being a string, and this is going to be a string as well. It's going to be equals to an empty object. All right, so we say claimed amount array again. So we are going to get, say, for each, for each of the addresses with its amount, um address, with the amount, we so we want to come on, um, sorry, should be this claimed amount array. Come on. So claimed amount array like that. Then we are going to update our empty obj, objects here. Then of this address that we're passing is going to be equal to the amount, right? So that being said, I'm just going to set user claimed out, that's correct, user claimed amount to be the claim obj, because since we're already updating it, I'm just going to pass it here. All right, I hope that makes sense. So what we are going to do, we are just going to return this guy, and we're going to use it within our Faucet here. And we go back to our guy right there. So in here, we are just going to say if this of user is not equals to undefined. So that is true. We want to return this of user. I also want to return loading. So 3. So if you go back to this, we can see this is accurately fetching the user claim amount. All right, how that makes sense. So this address, just claim this, it is 1000. You can see, and we are done, guys. So that will be the end of the video. So if you like the video, please click on the subscribe button so that you're going to see more tutorials like this. All right, guys, until next time, bye bye.